Peace and blessings, peace and blessings. Shout out to my YouTube, Instagram, Facebook family. Just got something to eat. And I had a conversation before on here talking about how even if you're not a multi-billionaire within the community, us as older men can still have an impact on the younger guys. And I don't care if you're a McDonald's manager. I don't care if you're a president. I don't care if you're a supervisor, a janitor, a teacher, lawyer. You can have an impact on a lot of the brothers, right? The younger brothers. And you got to be careful how you deal with them, because if you don't deal with them in a good way, it can have implications in their lives, right? So we're going to go through a storyline again, but I'm gonna explain it in full picture, right? The young guy that I talked about before who got let go from a good job, and at the end of it, he was confused. He was honestly like, what? What did I do? Right? And I had a conversation with him. I explained to him exactly how he kind of messed up, right? Let's start from the beginning. So I come to this job, right? I get hired straight through the door, but they have temps at the job, right? Now, I'm in a leadership position, or whatever you want to call it. So I oversee like a little department, small department of like 2 or 3 people, right? But then you have temps. And these temps, if they work for long enough, they get hired in and they get their benefits and whatnot. But you got like a certain amount of hours, about 3 months, where you got to show up on time. You got to do your work. You got to get along to where they're putting through a test to see if they want to hire you. So when I get to this job, one thing I noticed about this young guy, the younger man, is like he almost, at the time I thought he just didn't care, right? And he didn't work in my department, but he would just be around the building a lot. Almost as if I kind of got to the point where I was like, what does he do? Because I go to the break room, I see him at the vending machines. I'll go outside, see him on smoke breaks. He had a certain attitude of just like, he didn't really care. At first, that's what I thought. Later on, one thing I noticed is that he was really close to somebody, an older guy in the building who had been working there for years, right? And this older guy, since, you know, when you get to a job in the beginning, you got to be on a straight and narrow, but after they get to know you, you might get away with a little things here and there. You get your little benefits as time go past, right? So that guy, I noticed he takes his smoke breaks. He goes in the break room all the time. He's on his phone, whatnot. And I try to let him know in so many words, like, hey, don't get it confused. You're not him. Even though I noticed that you guys are close, and the age dynamic is kind of weird to me. He's early 20s. This guy's in his late 30s, 40s, whatever. But they were real, like I'll say, for instance, the young guy will come in. The first person he's looking for is that guy. Hey, what's going on? What we doing? What's this? What's that? Right? Which in the beginning I thought was cool, but I noticed like the older guy wasn't telling him like, hey, you gotta work. Like, what are you doing? To the point to where when that younger guy would come to my area, he slacking. He'll go to the bathroom every 5-10 minutes. And I'm not saying nobody can't use the bathroom, but it's just like, hey, we have a job to do, right? My area, we don't talk as much. You can listen to your music whenever, whatnot. It's one of them type of jobs, right? It's the job. It's not perfect, but it's all we got right now. So we're just working with what we got, right? Long story short, right? The older guy, what I believe, and now I'm really looking back at it, had certain dislikes and disdains for people in the building, and he kind of projected them on the younger guy, right? So now imagine you got this guy who's been here for years, and this young guy coming through the door, and this guy who's been here for years, instead of telling him like, hey, you gotta work, be on time, do what you do, he's kind of like, you ain't gotta do it. Don't listen to him. That guy, man, I was here before him. right? That's the type of energy the older guy is exuding. This is why I say it's important how you handle the young guys, the young men, because they're following us whether you like it or not. They're looking at us and going, okay, how do I act here? Well, he looked like me, he dressed like me, he talks like me. I'm gonna do what he's doing. He's been here, but he's not fully explained to him. So long story short, there comes a week, right? With the big bosses, they're going out of town. They got some meeting to go to, right? And they say before they leave, hey, we're leaving. I don't want to hear a single thing. I don't want to hear about an argument. I don't want to hear a missed order. I don't want to hear this. Which is understandable because they're saying, hey, if we're hiring y'all, to a certain extent, we got to be able to do what we got to do. We can't just micromanage you all day. Which in my mind, I felt like it was a hint to the young guy. Hey, long story short, during that week, this young dude thought it was party time. He thought, oh, I don't have to do anything, right? And it gets to the point to where the guy, the older guy that he hangs out with every day, this is the reason why I tell people when you go to work, just work. It's cool to have friends, but take some time to get to know them. Long story short, the older guy and the younger guy get into an argument about what? I don't know. But it's like a back and forth. It gets to the point to where like everyone in the building looks over and they're yelling at each other to where I had to come over, a couple people come over, hey, what's going on? What are you guys up to? Like, you up this way, that way. Long story short, the same older guy that was supervising the young guy talks to the top supervisors and says, yeah, we got into an argument, this and that. So we got about 2 or 3 days left in the week. I'm trying to let the young guy know as best as I can. And he used to not like me, right? But I try to let him best know as I can. Like, oh, come Monday, you're gone. You better start looking for something now. You got 3 days to figure something else out. Or come up with an excuse with your temp service or your rep to say, hey, this is... Because when they get here on Monday, you out the door. I already know it. I didn't even have to talk to anybody. Monday come. He's out the door. He comes into work. The guy comes up to him and say, hey, you didn't get the message? The guy was like, what do you mean? What message? He's like, you're done. I told you. We don't want to hear anything. Who told you what? Who told you what? Nothing happened. We're cool now. Me and him are cool now. And I'm like, bro, this is a job. This ain't the streets. It's a job. You can't just yell and scream in the building and think you can show up tomorrow. And I'm nobody perfect. I've lost jobs before too, and I had to learn the hard way. But one thing right? So the young man, I don't want to call him kid. We got to stop calling these young guys kids because they really take it like they think they're children. He leaves out the building like he got tears in his eyes because I knew at the time he just got his new place. Him and his family weren't on right terms. Like he got into some trouble where he went to jail. So I'm at the end, I'm trying to tell him like, yo, wake up. Like, bro, stop what you're doing. You're going to mess up a decent job. Oh, man, they don't pay nothing in here. What? I'm going to work that hard for this amount. I said, I used to tell him, you don't have any skills. Who's going to pay you what? Right? Or experience. So, right, the guy leaves. The kid leaves. The older guy that got him kicked out is walking around the building acting like he don't know why he got let. Man, I don't know why to let him go, man. And I'm looking at this older guy and I'm like, you made him feel like he was you. He made him feel like he was him until it was time to make him realize you not me. So now this young guy is walking around with this bitter taste in his mouth about older guys, right? So fast forward. A new batch of temps come in, right? Because we move buildings, the same thing happens again. These new guys come in, and once again, you want to relate with people who look like you, talk like you, so they gravitate towards the older guy again. And they start acting like him, having attitudes, talking to people. No, I ain't doing that. What, this and this? But when they come to my area, it's boom, shut it down. We're here from a certain time until a certain time. After that, go have your fun. But when we here, just do the job. That's my only thing. Do the job. Long story short. So was it one guy? One guy that was sent in my area, right? And like 2 or 3 was in the other guy, the older guy area, the one that got the young guy fired because of him teaching him his ways. Because of the older guy teaching the young guy of his ways. That's the reason why the young guy got fired. Because if he was more serious with the young guy, I think the young kid would have been more serious. But so these new group of guys come in. Same thing happened. In that guy's area, it's a party. Like, they playing music loud, they laughing, they joking, people sitting on chairs, leaning over. And it's like, it's insane to me because at this particular job, one thing about the management skill or the management style that the top guy used to say is, I'm not babysitting anybody. That's what he used to say. I'm not babysitting. You either come to work or don't come here at all. I'm not babysitting. So he wouldn't, the guy would never tell somebody they doing something wrong. He would just say, hey, don't do this, do this. If you have a question, ask. Don't just start doing stuff. And if he doesn't see you get it after a week or 2, you out the door. I peeped that. Oh, okay. So the guy in my area wanted to go to the other area because he's like, why are we over here working so hard and they over there hanging out? And the guys in the other area were trying to get him to come to their area too, right? So they're like, man, why are you working with him? He over there working hard. Man, stop all that, man. Come over here. But in my mind, I'm looking like, you guys don't even know you're fired yet, because I've had conversations, I've heard conversations behind the scenes. Plus, the older guy that you with is throwing y'all under the bus. When something goes wrong, he's saying, well, I told the new guy to do it right. Well, I don't know what, hey, man. But I'm looking at him like, but you're setting them up for failure. And this is what a lot of us older brothers do for younger brothers. You treat them like they're your friend, and then they get into the real world and they getting eaten up like, you know what I'm saying? Like a lamb to a lion. Because they're going out in the world thinking, yeah, it's all good, it's easy. And it's like, no, it's not easy. You got to get your mind right, get your body right, your spirit right when you get out here in the world. You know what I'm saying? Get your emotions right. So long story short, so the guy that was in my area hated being in my area. He hated working with me. I'm hearing him say things in the background. Somebody telling me, yeah, you know, he was saying this about you, saying this. So I'm like, okay, whatever. Just make sure, I don't care. Say what you want to say about me. I don't care. As long as you don't put your hands on me and just do what you got to do. You don't got to like me. Just, hey, by 1 o'clock, we got to have this done so we can set up for tomorrow this. If you don't want to do it, capiche. Goodbye. Right? And another reason why I knew it, they was talking about me and the other guy, is because one day I'm working, and this guy come up to me. He said, "Oh yeah, they must be getting." He said something about they must be paying you, huh? They paying you. What you been here for like 9 years? He giving me an attitude, and the guy giving me an attitude doesn't even know we just had a meeting talking about you're gone. You and 3 other people are gone. They're saying he ain't working. All right, well, until we find some new temps, we'll let him work, and then we're gonna get rid of him. So he's in this guy's mind. The guy that's the temp is talking to me. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's a lot of delusion going on. He's talking to me. I'm hired in at a lead position. You're a temp. That means the owner could wake up, or top supervisor could wake up at any moment and say, you know what, I don't like his face today. Hey, yeah, get rid of him. And this is Georgia. This is not a right to work state. They don't have to give a reason. You're goodbye. You can't sue, no nothing. There's no right to work. You don't have the right to work. You are gifted. It is a what do you call it? I'm missing the terminology. Privilege. It's a privilege. So long story short, right? The guy in my area doesn't even know Monday come, their whole session's gone. So the guy in my area comes in because I'm making him work. Like, yo, you gotta work. He just had a baby, this and that. He's telling me, you gotta work. When we working, I don't sit there and have long conversations with him. We're not friends, bro. That's why we're not friends. I make that clear and simple. I don't say it like that, but I just say, hey, we're here to work, bro. That's what, I don't need to have a long conversation with you if it ain't outside of the job until we really get to know each other, this and that. So the new temp is a little passive aggressive with me, kind of like, huh, what? But you just said to do this, and I said, no, I'm saying this and this, that. All right, right? So come Monday, and this is how bold these people are. This is why I say corporations are evil. These guys are leaving Friday, and they're like, all right, see y'all Monday, see y'all Monday. The top guy is like, all right, see y'all Monday. He's smiling. He'll never let you know what his real thoughts. He literally turns around to us and goes, yeah, so they're not coming back Monday. We got new people. So Monday comes, the guy in my area, since I've been forcing him to work, he comes in, he's like, hey, where everybody at? I look at him, I say, oh yeah, they got let go. And he looks at me, he's like, let go? For what? I said, oh, well, apparently they ain't working, they're not doing their job right, they're messing up over there. Yeah, they over there having just party time. You know, we just come here to work, just do the job, go home, and all that party and stuff, right? The guy in my area kind of got a salty look in his face. I'm looking at him like, what are they gonna pay a bill? When you came to this job, you filled out an application and put your name on it, right? Or a resume. Did you put their name on it too? What, you go homeless, they're gonna pay your bills, take care of your kid? So long story short, the guy got some attitude, but he's still working. A new group comes in, right? They go to that guy's area again. They all get let go. So now the guy in my area is starting to notice, like, they let them go too? I said, yeah, if you ain't gonna work, they ain't gonna let you go. Like, I don't know. Then the guy in my area started noticing the thing about the older guy. He'll come over to his area and just start talking to him, having long conversations. And it got to a point where the temp guy was like, oh yeah, all right, I gotta get back to work. And I'm like, thank you. You don't see this? He's making you slack because he has the keys already. He's been here for years. He's been here for years. He has the right to do that, and he's pulling you with him. Like, hey, let's go on a smoke break. He's, man, right now I can't go on let me finish this. Because he's realizing, man, you don't really care if I get let go. So long story short, right, that's what I say to the older guys, it doesn't matter what you're doing, what position you're in, you can at least give some game. A lot of us older guys are too busy trying to be young forever. We're too busy trying to be immature forever, and I'm guilty of it too. Lord knows I'm guilty. But for the younger guys, we got to mature, man. We got to mature ourselves. Definitely some conversation, because talking to the younger guy, he feels like that older guy betrayed him. Because when he found out that the older guy is the one who went to the office on him for their argument, and he's like, what? He told on me? And I'm looking at him like, yeah, you. And I told him, I said, you used to come to work like it's party time. I said, just do your job. You got 8 hours. Just do your 8, go home. No one here is your friend. I'm not saying they're your enemy, but we're not here to be friends. We're here to do a job, go home. So to my young brothers, I'm sorry y'all got to go through a lot of stuff like that. We got a lot of immature older guys who really don't care for you. They want to be 14, 15, 16 forever themselves. And then when you come around, you make them feel young, so they start moving. And they don't really care about your well-being. And then to my older guys, we got to start caring more about the younger guys, because they getting it worse, you know? They getting it worse. So anyway, that's all I had to say real quick. I got to run back in here. Y'all got to check this restaurant out. But anyway, you know the slogan, chase knowledge, don't chase money. Peace, love, positivity. And we out.